It's now been nearly 2 years since the release of Rmx Lab's last game, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which takes place primarily on Batuu, so the home of the Galaxy's Edge theme park in the United States. It's also been over a year since they released the last DLC for the game called Last Call, so we've now gone over 12 months and we still don't know what Rmx Labs is up to. We know for a fact that they are working on something as they are actively recruiting and have been for a while now, and they even expanded to Singapore earlier this year. In all fairness to Rmx Lab, they did announce the enhanced edition of Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which will be coming to the PlayStation VR 2 when it releases next year, but I don't think that would have taken everyone at the studio to work on, though of course I could be wrong. Looking at the jobs available, there are quite a lot going, and some posts are pretty old, with many dating back to July earlier this year. So we know for a fact that they are working on a game. Obviously it doesn't have to be Star Wars, so it could very well be Indiana Jones related or even Willow as well. Really, I guess it doesn't have to be a Lucasfilm IP, but I find it highly unlikely to be the case. Star Wars is the biggest IP in the world, so I presume we'll get to see many more from Star Wars with Rmx Lab. Considering it has been so long since we've heard anything new from them, I imagine we'll get to hear something fairly soon, but it is just a matter of when. I doubt we'll see anything at the Game Awards, as Lucasfilm will no doubt want to focus on showcasing Star Wars Shadow Survivor gameplay, so the next likely place really is Star Wars Celebration, which is in London in 5 months' time. I'm hoping we won't have to wait that long to find out though, as that's still quite some time away, but it is also the best time to announce something with regards to targeting the core Star Wars audience. They could of course announce it sooner and showcase at Celebration instead, or even not at all. These are just my assumptions right now, but I'd be very shocked if we didn't know anything by the time Celebration is over. So far I've spoken all about when the game could be announced, and if it is announced next year then hopefully it will release later in 2023, but I haven't even said what it could be about. Quite frankly, it could be anything. Star Wars is full of possibilities, and Rmx Lab will no doubt want to strive for something creative and different. I personally would love to have a VR game set in the Clone Wars where you get to play as a clone trooper, maybe some kind of special forces unit. Even Bad Batch would be great. So far we've had Vader Immortal, which takes place in the Imperial era, and you primarily use a lightsaber in that. Then there's Tales, which is during the sequel trilogy and includes a couple High Republic stuff, so you get to use mostly blasters in that but with some lightsaber elements as well. So I'd love to have something set in the prequels now, as it's the only era not to be showcased in VR in the Star Wars canon. Maybe even have some PvP elements as well. Now I do have a video coming out in the next few weeks talking more about the idea of a PvP Star Wars VR game, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on that. That is it from me today though guys, thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.